David Seymour riding high. Is this his sort of moment?
I think you're right about that. It's absolutely terrifying when you hear...
From your point of view.
From the point of view of the people I work with and care about in this country, the fact that he accepts that wealth divide and would actually seek to increase it with a low flat tax and with a heap of their other policies.
Well, he says he doesn't resent wealthy people. He does not that he's trying to increase the tax.
His policies do, and if you look in the detail of welfare and policing and everything else, it's all about slamming into Māori, slamming into low-income and no-income people, slamming into beneficiaries. His vision is of a society where the rich get richer and
he would obviously dispute what you're saying. He's saying it's a different way to bring everybody up.
But it seems very clear, even from that short interview, much less reading their policies. And he's just calling out to those people that are going to the Geordie Bachelor meetings, the anti-co government.
All right, so you're saying that, I mean, he denies it.
Dog whistling.
You say he's dog whistling. Oh, you're huffing there, actually.
No, because actually, I think there is something wrong with tax stance. And, for example, you've got a whole lot of parties in Parliament, National, the Greens, they're all in favour of indexing tax rates, right? So that they're inflation-proofed. And ACT Party is against it in principle. And so the reason the ACT Party is against it is because most of the tax cut would go to lower earners. So there is something to be said for the fact that the ACT Party is very, very focused on the moneyed interests in the country.
OK. And in terms of his debate around co-governance and the treaty, I mean, he denies that it's dog whistling. He's actually just a vision for the future of a unified New Zealand.
Look at the language he's using, racial profiling. Just these kind of things that trip off the tongue that, as Sue is saying, these are dog whistles to the kinds of people. I mean, I don't think he himself is like that, but he's using the phraseology that appeals to people like that.
Do you think that's deliberate? Do you believe that's...
Mr. Luxon's doing it as well, and it's
so political opportunism, right?
Absolutely.
Do you think he's dog whistling?
David Seymour?
Yeah.
No, I think David Seymour is genuinely a libertarian, and he has a very simplistic libertarian's ideology, and everything he says fits well within that. I wouldn't go to assume bad faith on his part.
Yeah, because, I mean... in David Seymour's defence, because that's, it seems to be anti him at the moment, he's saying that he's not dog whistling. He's presenting, this particular way, his view of how New Zealand should be in terms of a liberal democracy, and there shouldn't be individual rights for race. And so, I mean, you don't agree with that? So.
Oh no, he's absolutely. You're right. I mean, he's right too. This is a liberal democracy. He's got every right to put that position, and I don't think there's anything wrong actually with talking about dog whistling, because every politician and every party does it.
Right.
Everyone's trying to appeal to their constituency in an election campaign. He's absolutely doing it on the back of his party's policies, and good on him. I mean, that's what we do. This is our political system, and we actually need more debate, more in-depth debate around the issues that all the parties are raising, and I'd love to see more of these kind of opportunities to debate and think about the options between a national and ACT-led government and a Labour, Green, Te Pāti Māori government. I hope there are more ongoing debates that really get into these issues and look about what are the options on tax, how do we close the gaps rather than make them worse, and so on.
If it is a national ACT coalition, where do you think David Seymour would want to sit in Cabinet?
As high as possible, I'm sure. I mean, my issue, just to go back to David Seymour, the thing that I think is worse about the ACT Party is that though they have a lot of young followers, they are not engaged on the issue of climate change, and their policy actually suggests
they just want to scrap all of
get rid of the Climate Change Commission and so forth. This is absolutely disastrous, and actually I think he'd be more popular if he took a different stance on that and pushed National a bit more on that.
Okay, all right. I just want to finish off with just circling back to the poll. Christopher Luxon's popularity, is that an issue?
Not really. No? I mean, honestly, it's the party vote that counts, right? I mean, it's not like Chris Hipkins is flying high on 24%. That's an incredibly low approval rating, or preferred Prime Minister rating for a incumbent Prime Minister.
Okay, so not